Coming up next on the Wrestlemania edition of the Pro Wrestling Report right here on My24 Milwaukee, it's Be the Booker Fantasy Booking for tomorrow's huge pay-per-view event. Special segments and guests from San Jose, this month's top 5, DWHS, and so much more. Join us for the full hour right here, right now. It's the PWR Wrestlemania Weekend Edition of PrimeTime on My24 Milwaukee.
This is the Pro Wrestling Report PrimeTime TV, the longest-running pro wrestling news program in the world, with your hosts, David Hero and Damian Nelson.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pro Wrestling Report Primetime Wrestlemania Edition. Damian Nelson sitting alongside David Octavius and Tiberius, the alleged backyard one-time knockout, straight edge, hardcore, goat-faced,
Hall of
straight edge,
yes,
knockout,
Hall of Fame champion.
Hero.
Yes.
Here on March 28, 2015, it's WrestleMania weekend.
It's already been a year since we were in New Orleans.
It has been a year since we were in New Orleans, absolutely.
Amazing.
And that cream worked, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's great for sun tanning.
What a night last night at the Shenanigans Party in San Jose, California. Packed house, standing room only.
I can't believe you're here.
What do you mean?
Well, last I saw you, you were kind of, I don't want to say limping your way out, but you were walking.
I was upright.
You were upright.
That's all that matters. That's fine. I reset well.
Gunner is a hell of a guy, isn't he? The way he helped you out of there.
Yes, he is. Yes. Absolutely. And let's get right into this week's WWE report and a loaded edition of the Pro Wrestling Report Primetime. And huge news this past Wednesday, broken by ESPN on SportsCenter. Brock Lesnar, the guest, he announces his days in the Octagon are done, and he has re-signed a contract with WWE. Later, Triple H would announce via Twitter that contract is a multi-year contract. Brock Lesnar, the doubt is gone. It looks like a WrestleMania 20 scenario will not play out again, where he is booed out of the building for selling out.
This is a huge signing for WWE because it's like the Bulls re-signing Michael Jordan.
Who?
Okay, let's Diego Maradona coming back in soccer.
I don't speak Spanish.
You don't speak that either. You don't follow sports. I could say Brett Favre with the Packers.
It's like Kerry Washington signing on for another season of Scandal.
Bigger.
I don't think it gets bigger.
Yes. Of course it has to be Kerry Washington. It can't be Brett Favre.
Well, how could it not be Kerry Washington? You've seen her, right?
Of course I have. But it's huge. It's great for business. It's best for business. It's going to guarantee a box office main attraction for WWE. Because Brock Lesnar is exactly that. He is a main event, bona fide superstar.
That he is. The question, though, and the answer not yet available is how often will we be seeing Brock Lesnar with this new contract? One could assume that perhaps WWE is going to try to squeeze more dates out of him, but at the same time, WWE being very smart, because when we talk about WrestleMania later, two of the big matches on the WrestleMania card, David Hero, are for the United States Championship featuring John Cena, and a ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship. The elevation of those two titles has been long in progress, and with those two titles elevated, you don't need your champion as much.
No, but you still need Brock Lesnar to show up at least for 9 out of the 12 pay-per-views.
Yes.
You do, because
you do.
Brock Lesnar's biggest concern for his first 2-year contract, or 3 years, is that he wanted to get back in shape to go back to the UFC. He didn't want all the wear and tear on his body from being in that ring all the time.
Well, and he doesn't like traveling.
He's
got Sable at home.
So now, that's a lot of pacing back and forth, but now he doesn't have to worry about saving his body for the UFC.
Yes.
Now he can go out there and be the sports entertainer that he is. He can be the megastar. He can be the guy that can help this company draw more money.
This is huge.
It is.
WWE.
And it's frustrating for me because I saw on Twitter all week, oh, it sucks, they re-signed a part-timer. He's the best part-timer you can possibly get. He's better than 90% of the full-timers.
And he is the WWE champion.
And let's not forget, he was on SportsCenter.
Yeah.
They did the LeBron. You don't know who LeBron James is.
Yeah, Cleveland Cavaliers.
When LeBron James
played here in Milwaukee,
when he went to Miami, they had a whole big SportsCenter about LeBron James going to Miami.
Was that when they were going to kill him because he left Cleveland?
Yes.
Usher's team?
Sure.
Usher part owns the Cavaliers.
Does he? Yeah. Good for him.
I know sports.
Sounds like it.
Just when you think I don't, I do. When you think you know the answers, I change the question.
Okay, that's hot.
That's right.
Pump the brakes, kid.
Multi-year contract for Brock Lesnar. Again, that makes the dynamics of Sunday's matchup a lot different than a lot of people may have thought. It
changes everything.
And we'll talk about that in Be the Booker later on. But this huge news, and very smart of WWE to break it on SportsCenter in the mainstream just earlier this week.
And let's not forget, it's WrestleMania week. You have Brock Lesnar on ESPN. You had Roman Reigns on Conan.
And on ESPN as well. He was on Sports Nation.
And you got The Rock on Saturday Night Live.
The Machine, if you will.
Absolutely.
That's this week's WWE report. Let's go to Linda Kay to give you a little bit of a hint as to what else we have in store for the next 55 minutes.
Coming up next on PWR Primetime, it's Be the Booker for tomorrow's WrestleMania pay-per-view. All that and much more when we return in just under 2 minutes.
If you've been hurt in a car wreck, the insurance company may try to stop you from getting what's fair.
After my car wreck, the insurance company just wasn't helping me, so I said stop, and I called Gruber Law Offices.
Be careful. Call us right away.
They better be careful. Now I've got Gruber Law Offices.
Call us. Let us get started on your case right now.
They put the green light on my case and got me $65,000.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Call 276-6666.
Who do you trust when buying your jewelry? Brad Yulberg here, and I can tell you at Robert Hack Diamonds, we will treat you fair and like family. We have thousands of diamonds in stock, thousands of pieces of jewelry, and prices from under $50 to over $50,000. Come to Robert Hack Diamonds for a relaxed and enjoyable jewelry buying experience. Shop around before you buy. Robert Hack Diamonds is located at 76th and Layton and Greenfield, and our new location on the corner of Green Tree and Port Washington Road in Glendale.
Come to Robert Hack Diamonds.
Direct from the Jerry Springer Show. The Extreme Midget Wrestling Federation is coming to town. The world's smallest wrestlers are competing for the title. This is body slamming action. Midget style. These 4'2" little guys fight with pool sticks, chairs, trash cans, and weapons of mass destruction. Come, support midget violence.
Coming to Milwaukee on Friday, April 3rd. Get your tickets now at hapstheater.org.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pro Wrestling Report, primetime Saturday night. Damian Nelson alongside David Hero, and it is Be the Booker, ladies and gentlemen. We fantasy book the granddaddy of them all, the showcase of the Immortals, Wrestlemania, which is tomorrow on pay-per-view. It's funny you want to hold that trophy there, pal. How did that fit in your little red sports car?
I'm going to be defending my world championship of the world this weekend.
Meathead won last year. I won the previous 2 years. I'm winning this year by some 500 points.
Almost 500 points.
495
points.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So you have a lot of work to do tomorrow that you can't do. And you're we're gonna go through and fantasy book WrestleMania tomorrow on pay-per-view. And the way this segment goes, ladies and gentlemen, we know a lot of you look forward to it every month. This guy predicts, if you will, or books.
That's how I would book the show. It's not a prediction.
Not a prediction at all. Let's get right down to it. We're going to skip the pre-show match, David Hero, because tomorrow prior to WrestleMania, we'll have our very own pre-show where we'll book that pre-show match. So let's start now with the Divas Tag Team matchup where the Bella Twins will go up against AJ Lee and Paige.
Interesting match because it's been rumored, it's been reported that the Bella Twins will not be re-signing with WWE anytime
really?
soon. Yes.
Is it baby time?
You also got to figure AJ Lee may want to leave and go be with her husband, which leaves Paige.
AJ's married to CM Punk.
The wrestler formerly known as CM Punk. He's not that guy.
CM Punk.
I think this match will be I think it's going to be a good match. It'll be a physical match. Nikki Bella has upped her game a ton.
She really has.
She really has. She's very believable. Paige is my favorite diva right now.
Let's talk about AJ, though. A little bit of heat with the rest of the divas, a little bit of heat with Paige. Her and Paige not getting along so well.
She's always been the X Factor.
She has indeed.
She's always been a standalone product. She's never had friends.
Bit surprising, given who her husband is and the drama caused by various podcasts and the like, and her absence for a few months, that she is getting a place on the WrestleMania card.
If you're a draw, that's all that matters. If you sell tickets, if people buy your merchandise, that's all that matters.
So she's got that look we were talking about on Friday?
It factor quality about her.
Bella Twins, AJ Paige.
I gotta go with AJ and Paige, just because I honestly believe Paige is the future of the WWE Divas division. I think she will go down in history as one of the best along with Lita and Trish Stratus.
Sounds good. Let's go now to the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, ladies and gentlemen. We didn't list all the participants, but we did list those that have the potential of winning the matchup. And boiling that down, at least according to you, David Hero, it is The Miz, former WWE champion, endorsed by me. Ryback, who, I don't know if you saw his recent interview at WWE.com where he was broken down to tears about his chances in this matchup.
Well, he needs this win.
The Big Show, Kane, and Curtis Axel, and Axelmania, who ran wild with Hulkamania this past Monday night.
You know
on
what?
Raw.
We didn't talk about it really. When Snoop Dogg came out for that segment.
With his 4-inch pythons?
With Axelmania comes out for his segment. Followed up by Hulk Hogan for the segment. I was like, oh. But it may have been the absolute best segment on Raw just by the reaction from Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
You could tell he was honored and privileged to be in the ring with Hulk Hogan, and that was infectious, and you could feel it at home at the live audience.
Yeah.
But that being said, we're talking about the Battle Royal, not
that
about
we
Snoop
are.
Diggity Dog. So, there's another guy I think can win this thing.
Axelmania has picked up a lot of steam. Recently at an event here in Milwaukee.
Yes.
Surprised at the reaction Axelmania got from the live crowd.
And here's the thing. When you're over in the back with the boys as well as the fans, it's a good thing. And right now, Axel's over with everybody. But there's also one more guy that I forgot to list that I think could be the guy that wins this thing.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, I think Damien Sandow and The Miz could wind up. I could see The Miz, Axelmania, and Sandow being the last three guys in the Battle Royal, with Sandow winning it.
Okay.
70,000 people going nuts for Damien Sandow to win the Battle Royal.
And they will go nuts for Damien Sandow.
Of course
to win the
they
Battle
would,
Royal.
because you want that to be a big WrestleMania moment. Not saying Sandow should be mentioned in the same breath as Andre the Giant or Battle Royals, but Big Show or Kane, it's been done before. Ryback
It definitely,
doesn't need
there's
it.
no chance it should be Big Show or Kane.
So for me, I want to go with Damien Sandow. It's not like it will jumpstart anyone's career. Look what happened to Cesaro last year.
Yeah. With a tremendous elimination of the Big Show in the first ever Andre the Giant Battle Royal. Now, what did happen to him was he was then aligned with Paul Heyman, I believe, which was short-lived, so they did try.
Yes, they did try.
Next matchup we're going to talk about, folks, in this segment of Be the Booker is the ladder match. This match for the Intercontinental Championship. It will be the endorsed Dolph Ziggler versus R-Truth versus Daniel Bryan, who he was in the main event of WrestleMania last year.
He was in two of them last year.
Versus Stardust, the endorsed Stardust, and Dean Ambrose, Luke Harper, and Bad News Barrett, the current Intercontinental Champion.
This match is going to set the standard for ladder matches. This is Money in the Bank is what it really is.
Basically.
You know? And we're going to see some insane, crazy spots with Ziggler and Ambrose. I'm expecting a huge bump out of Harper. Daniel Bryan is going to get the yes chant going. It's going to be a big match. It's going to be lots of false finishes. And it's going to be at certain points you're going to think someone else is going to win that you didn't think had a chance before. But at the end of the day, I know everybody wants Dolph Ziggler and Daniel Bryan to win. My pick, and I've been saying this for a while, is Bad News Barrett. He's been losing for the last 7 weeks. They have been stealing his title belt. If he doesn't win the belt back or retain his title at WrestleMania, he becomes a joke. He becomes the guy that has not gotten over and has now just been almost like a patsy. He needs this victory more than anybody else in this match.
Here's what I'm looking forward to: the interactions between Dolph Ziggler, Daniel Bryan, Stardust even, and Dean Ambrose. We know those are people who will give of their soul in this matchup to entertain the masses in Levi's Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
And Wade Barrett winning does make some sense, David Hero. I'd much rather, of course, see Cody Stardust Rhodes win the matchup.
Any one of these guys has an opportunity to win the match.
Including Harper? Including R-Truth?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. I could see that. But Wade Barrett needs it more than anybody else. And if they truly want to build stars, Ziggler, Bryan, and Ambrose are already considered stars. Barrett needs to get back on track and become the IC champion one more time.
Next matchup, ladies and gentlemen, Seth Rollins versus Randy Orton. This story been developing over the last few weeks, and let's give credit where credit is due. Seth Rollins has become a top star in WWE. He is great in the ring, he is great on the microphone, and he has a presence, and he has sneakily,
is that even a word?
He has snuck his way into the top echelon, I feel, of the current WWE roster.
And he's done that because he's been aligned with the authority and Triple H.
Not as much lately, though. Not as much lately.
He still has their support.
He does.
He's one of the few guys that has a posse going to the ring.
He does.
He does. This match is interesting. It's a coin flip for me because Seth Rollins needs to beat Randy Orton. Seth Rollins, the last time we saw him on a pay-per-view was backside up. Oh no, that was at the Rumble. But Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins was in that great match at the Rumble with John Cena and Brock Lesnar.
He was, but he needs something. Randy Orton's been owning him the last couple weeks on TV.
Yeah.
But it's Randy Orton at WrestleMania, the Viper, against Seth Rollins. You know there's going to be shenanigans with J&J Security out there.
Let's not forget, though, Seth Rollins, the man in possession of the Money in the Bank briefcase.
Right, which means, Seth Rollins can still lose to Randy Orton and then try to cash in later tonight.
Tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night.
Who you got? Who would you book to win this matchup if you had the pencil in the back?
Seth Rollins.
He needs it, doesn't he?
He will cheat to win to beat Randy Orton.
Orton will not be damaged by a loss in this matchup.
Not at all, because he will cheat to beat Randy Orton. That's what heels do. They're supposed to cheat. And that's what Rollins does best.
Well, that is Be the Booker, ladies and gentlemen, at least the first half of Be the Booker. So big, WrestleMania is, we had to split it into two segments. Later on this broadcast, we'll come back over here and do more Be the Booker for WrestleMania tomorrow on pay-per-view. But let's review. AJ and Paige, the winners of the Divas Tag Team matchup according to Hero, and the world according to Hero. Damian Sandow walks out the winner of the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. And Wade Barrett retains his Intercontinental Championship in the big ladder match, finally getting over the tremendous offense that will be levied by Stardust in that matchup. And then Seth Rollins defeats Randy Orton.
Look what we've done so far.
A one-on-one match.
Young stars being elevated at WrestleMania.
Sandow, check. Barrett, check. Rollins, check. AJ Page, check. What will the rest of the card bring with the veterans and the legends, ladies and gentlemen? We will find out later here in this broadcast. But now let's go to Linda Kay to tell us what's coming up.
Coming up next on PWR Primetime, a detailed look at the WWE Hall of Fame inductees, Diamond of the Ring, DHHS, and more. Be the Booker for tomorrow's WrestleMania pay-per-view. All that and much more on the other side of this brief timeout.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pro Wrestling Report, primetime Saturday night. It's a special WrestleMania edition. Damian Nelson sitting here alongside David Hero, and wow, just the excitement level is at a fevered pitch, if you will, for tomorrow in Levi Stadium in the PWR suite with 20 of our closest friends watching WrestleMania 31.
20 of our closest friends are going to be there?
Well, 20 of my closest friends, you're one or two friends.
All I need is one or two.
But yes, indeed, and coming up, as we talked about Be the Booker earlier, we've got more Be the Booker, but just tomorrow night in San Jose as well, it will be the tonight. It is the WWE Hall of Fame induction ceremony. And let's talk about the people who are being inducted into the Hall of Fame, David Hero. Of course, one man who many have said for years should have been in, regardless of why he is not in. He is going to be inducted by Hulk Hogan, and he is the Macho Man, Randy Savage. One would assume Leaping Lanny Poffo is going to accept the award on the behalf.
There is no doubt that Lanny Poffo will. I doubt it would be... maybe Macho Man's wife or his widow will be there. But it's going to be interesting because Hogan and Savage have such a storied past. Love and hate. Hate and love, back and forth.
Mega powers
explode. They've headlined WrestleManias and Slamborees. And I'm just curious to see what Hogan's going to say. And I think it'll be emotional for Hogan. Because from what I understand, they did bury the hatchet before Macho Man died. But, those two guys, that was an amazing time in wrestling, having those two guys on the top of the card.
Do you remember the Mega Powers exploded right here in Milwaukee at the Bradley Center on the main event in 1989?
Were you there?
I was there.
You were here?
I was here.
It was fantastic, and I'm looking forward to that induction. I'm curious to see what Hogan's going to say. I think the fans are going to be freak out-ish the whole night long, and there'll be a lot of macho chants and everything else. It's going to be fun.
Next inductee is Rikishi, who's going to be inducted by his two boys, the Usos.
Yes, Rikishi fought too. I mean, and he goes way further back than just Rikishi.
He was a Sultan.
He was a Sultan. He was the Samoan swap machine. He's been around. Let's not forget Fatu also. Let's make a difference. You remember when he was just Fatu?
God bless you.
Yes. But it's weird, that I was hoping that Scotty and Grandmaster would be there for his Hall of Fame, but I don't think they will be. But Rikishi definitely deserving for his career that he's had.
Next inductee to be inducted by Bruno Sammartino, who 2 years ago was put into the Hall of Fame, the living legend, Larry Zbyszko.
You know what? Larry Zbyszko is one of the most underrated top bad guys in wrestling. The program he had with Bruno Sammartino back in the WWF, in the early 80s was absolutely fantastic. And he had a great run in WCW, and he was also the former AWA World Champion.
The next is a tag team induction, ladies and gentlemen. The Bushwhackers, Luke and Butch, to be inducted by what we believe to be John Laurinaitis.
Well, because he used to be the flag bearer, Johnny Ace.
Yes.
He used to, be with them, and I gotta admit, I'm shocked that the Bushwhackers are going in.
Really? If you look at their history, especially outside of WWE, they did have a pretty long and storied career.
As the sheep herders, absolutely. But you gotta wonder, how do the Bushwhackers go in before the British Bulldogs and before Demolition?
There was one thing that did it. It was the episode of PrimeTime Wrestling where Bobby and Gorilla were looking for the Bushwhackers at Busch Gardens, remember?
Yes, I do.
That's what did it.
And they were licking heads.
People's heads.
Yes.
On the
what
top
else
of their
did
body.
you think I was talking about?
Alundra Blaze is going to be inducted as well into the Hall of Fame. This is almost the redemption year for the Hall of Fame because Alundra Blaze, as we saw, took that women's championship for WWE, dropped it in the trash can on Nitro, and caused waves throughout the business.
See, this here can prove to you that anything is possible in the world of wrestling.
Yeah.
Because Alundra Blaze, Medusa Michelli, when she threw that belt in the garbage can, that was like unheard of.
Yeah.
And now you got to wonder, okay, well, if they put in Alundra Blaze, what about Luna Vachon? What about
didn't do anything as heinous on TV in public.
Right. So, a great career. I mean, she was one of the original divas in pro wrestling. She was one of the first female wrestlers that the guys really took notice to.
The celebrity inductee this year is the man who claims that it is not a tumor, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Former governor of California.
Cal's favorite actor.
Is that right? Terminator?
He loves Arnold.
One or two.
You've never heard his Terminator impersonations?
I have not.
No, he'll do it. Trust me. Huge. Not surprising it's going to happen in California, but let's not forget the same time Schwarzenegger inducted Triple H to the Arnold Classic Bodybuilding Hall.
That did happen recently.
Yes,
Very
it did.
good. I see how you connected those two things there.
Oh, that's what I do. I connect the dots.
In the new category this year, the Warrior Award, young Connor McCulloch will be inducted. You've heard enough, or a lot rather, about Connor, and a special thing WWE is doing as part of the Hall of Fame. But the man who celebrated last night with us in San Jose at the San Jose Bar and Grill, big, sexy Kevin Nash,
yes,
not Diesel, not Oz, not Vinny Vegas, will be inducted into the Hall of Fame, presumably by Shawn Michaels tonight.
And he's going to be closing the show.
He's the main event, huh?
He is the main event.
Did he book himself in it? Because that's what a lot of people say.
No, he didn't finger poke nothing. I mean,
well,
stop. It's great. I mean, it's no secret, Kevin Nash is a friend of the show.
Absolutely.
We've done 5 years of shenanigans parties with Kevin Nash.
And yes, you've got the wrinkles to prove it.
You said wrinkles don't show on TV.
On me.
Oh, and it's going to be special. It's going to be exciting, and it's always cool to see one of your buddies, one of your pals get recognized by their peers.
It's going to be a special night. It is a special night tonight. It was a special night earlier this evening as Kevin Nash inducted into the Hall of Fame. Of course, that aired live on the WWE Network. Hall of Fame always special, even with a couple of morons who want to get their 15 minutes of fame and scream. But when you take that to a 15,000-seat arena, that happens. But congratulations to all of the Hall of Fame inductees.
That was Eisenberg, wasn't it?
No, it was the other guy.
LeBear? I don't remember.
I forget his name. Congratulations to all the inductees, and thank you to all of you who came out to celebrate with us last night at Kevin Nash's official Hall of Fame pre-party. Let's go into this week's TNA report, David Hero, and TNA Impact Wrestling, big move last week, a new champion crowned.
Kurt Angle. I mean, who would have thought 6 months ago, Kurt Angle was on the shelf.
Yes.
Thinking his career was finished, his
Absolutely.
knee was done, and he goes out and beats one of the true beasts in TNA Impact Wrestling, Bobby Lashley, to become the new TNA Impact World Heavyweight Champion. And
Lashley held that title for quite a while.
he has. And I get it because they're on a new network. Destination America wants recognizable faces to brand the company. And with the exception of Jeff Hardy, Kurt Angle is the only guy that's truly recognizable on that roster.
Yeah.
So, I mean, great for Kurt Angle. I can't imagine it being a long reign just because his body is so beaten down. But, you know,
they wrestle once every 2 months.
True.
Not knocking the wrestlers, but that's just TNA's taping schedule.
Yeah, that is. But, I mean, interesting move going to Kurt Angle. It truly is.
If not Kurt, then who?
Why not Jeff Hardy? Jeff Hardy, I love Matt and Jeff.
Yeah.
But
they're the tag team champions, aren't they?
No, not right now. They're going for the tag titles in the tournament. But
whoops.
It's just there's other guys there. Ethan Carter, EC3.
Yeah, I know what you're getting at. Let's just stop beating around the bush. And I know you know that everybody else knows that Rockstar Spud should be the TNA World Heavyweight Champion.
No,
it's a given.
he's
It's
the
obvious. He's the
X-Division
best talent in
champion.
the company.
You know, he got his
He's
haircut
working
like
his way
now.
up. Well, we talked about it and realized that this makes things easier.
I'm sure it does. A lot less maintenance. But, you know, Rockstar Spud has done nothing but impress and improve every week on Impact Wrestling. He really is.
Well, he's endorsed. That's what happens.
Of course. But
like Roman Reigns, like Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, and no one likes those guys either.
Where's Billy Ray?
Billy Ray, he's with Velvet Sky. He's just chilling in New York.
Part of the Royal Rumble this past year.
Yes.
One would have hoped, I think, that we would have seen great talent get more time in WWE, but maybe during WrestleMania season, not the right time, maybe right after WrestleMania.
It could be. I mean, WWE has NXT.
Yes.
That is where they're going to pull all their next stars from.
Yes.
By bringing in a Bully Ray, as talented as he is, as good as he would be for that roster, he then takes one of these younger kids' spots. And let's face it, Bully Ray may have, 2 years left? Maybe 3?
There's a lot more gas in that tank.
You know, but right now their main concern is getting those guys from NXT up and TV ready.
How about TNA releasing a Best of Sting DVD set this week? Smart.
Absolutely.
Good job, TNA.
Well,
capitalize.
They have a lot of DVD footage that hasn't sold. So they might as well put it all in one and try to make some money back on it. But really, who's going to buy a TNA DVD of Sting?
They're going to see Sting and buy it.
You think so?
I think so.
What stores are going to sell it?
Well.
Okay, you got to go online.
That's this week's TNA Impact Wrestling Report, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go now to Linda Kay in the Event Center to tell you about
Don't threaten me with that.
all the big and small things coming soon to the Milwaukee area.
Welcome to the PWR Event Center, brought to you by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. You never know what to expect when extreme midget wrestling comes to your town. Live, insane, and uncaged at Turner Hall Ballroom. This exciting show returns to Milwaukee on April 3rd. Tickets are available now at papstheater.org. Thanks to everyone who came out for last night's Shenanigans Hall of Fame party with Kevin Nash. It was a great time, and we will have details soon on next year's event in Dallas. And that's it for this week's Event Center, brought to you by Gruber Law Offices.
Is that a girl?
If you've been hurt in a car wreck, the insurance company may try to stop you from getting what's fair.
They better be careful. Now I've got Gruber Law Offices.
One call, that's all.
Direct from the Jerry Springer Show. The Extreme Midget Wrestling Federation is coming to town. The world's smallest wrestlers are competing for the title. This is body slamming action, midget style. These 4'2" little guys fight with pool sticks, chairs, trash cans, and weapons of mass destruction. Come, support midget violence.
Coming to Milwaukee on Friday, April 3rd. Get your tickets now at hapstheater.org.
Welcome back to the Pro Wrestling Report Primetime TV, the longest running pro wrestling talk show in the world and the only one on broadcast TV. There's already been some great discussion in the first half of the show on Wrestlemania, but we have so much more for you here in the second half, including this month's Top 5, DHHS, and more Be the Booker for WWE Wrestlemania tomorrow on pay-per-view. But first, as you saw on our last show, TNA star Abyss is none too pleased with David Hero. Well, this week, the PWR offices received yet another video from Abyss, and he had some very unpleasant words for David. Let's take a look at what Abyss had to say.
David, hello again, my dear friend. I just wanted to check back in with you to see how you're doing. See if you might be a little jittery or nervous. Well, you should be. Pretty soon, David, we're going to meet face to face. And I can't wait. I'm going to destroy you. I'm going to destroy everything that you love. Great Lakes Championship Wrestling, done. You, done. Your family, done. Cal, done. Super Friends, done. I can't wait, Dave. I could smell it in the air. It's getting closer. See you soon, buddy.
Super. I love it. 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 What is this? 3 months now? You've been running away with your tail tucked between your eyes, or your legs rather. Your yellow streak running right down the middle of your back.
There's no place to run. I don't have any events until June, and he's already booked on that show.
He wants a match.
With who?
You.
He's getting a title. Bro,
he wants a match with you. You have been challenged. He has stepped up.
Too old.
He has shoulder shoved you in the high school hallway.
I have not had a match in over 9 years.
Well, you better get to training. I mean, as we see those pictures of you on the Instagrams and the Twitters and the Facebooks, and it appears as if you've been working out.
I took your gimmick as being a douchebag and posting selfies. So I just don't want any part of this. It was funny in the beginning. It's not funny.
To you, it isn't.
No, he showed up last night at Shenanigans. He was at the party last night.
He was at the party last night.
It's stupid.
He actually gave me something at the party last night I wanted to share with you.
Oh,
keep talking.
Of course. You know what?
I think it's time for Diamond of the Ring.
I can't put. Yeah, it is Diamond of the Ring. Let's do that. This week's Robert Hack Diamond of the Ring is the new TNA World Impact Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle, the Olympic gold medalist in WWE, should be future Hall of Famer, and now a TNA superstar defeated Bobby Lashley to once again become the TNA champion. Great move on the part of TNA Impact Wrestling, and this week's Robert Hack Diamond of the Ring, the only place I trust. That's freaking hideous.
You scared?
No, but why would you put that? He wore that.
He gave it to me. He said, put this on, be able to run like a little...
His DNA is now all over your face.
I am certain that we're not going to go any further with that. You are scared of Abyss, and Abyss wants a match with you. Will you make the match for Blizzard Brawl?
There's no reason to.
Because it has to happen on the grandest stage of them all.
Blizzard Brawl is 8 months from now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe by that time you'll be ready. I could train you.
Not like that, you can't.
I could train
Seriously,
you. Come on. Armani trained me well.
I have noticed it's not funny anymore. It really isn't. It needs to stop. And you just keep posting these videos and you think it's funny, haha. Let's not forget he tried killing you a year ago.
Yeah,
How does that happen?
I forgave.
How does the guy from the South, and you guys now just shake hands and everything's cool?
What?
No problems?
Is the fact that he's from the South have to do with anything?
He's from Cincinnati. He's from the South.
One more time, Mr. Huckabee. I don't understand what you're saying.
You really, seriously, take that off. You're gonna have like
you're scared, aren't you? I mean, you're like shivering here.
No, it's cold in here.
You know what? I'm not gonna. I'll take it off. But before we do that, WrestleMania this weekend, of course, WrestleCon, big wrestling convention happening.
Yeah, he's there
yesterday
too.
and today
Freaking won't leave me
in San
alone.
Jose. And earlier today, I got a chance to spend some time with my dear close personal friend Josh Eisenberg from Chairshot Reality over at WrestleZone.
He's the pretty one, right?
And that's why we were put into a segment together, is because we're both the pretty ones.
Gotcha.
It's time for our top 5. Got Josh's top 5, got my top 5. Let's go to earlier today in San Jose at WrestleCon.
Giving this Joker TV
this
time
month's top 5.
on my show.
Welcome, folks. It's this month's top 5. We are here at WrestleCon. It's Damian Nelson alongside Josh Eisenberg. Josh, how are you?
I am fantastic. San Jose is beautiful. I am excited for WrestleMania.
Are you really?
Absolutely.
Josh Eisenberg, of course, of the Chairshot Reality program. You're the star of that program, aren't you?
I mean, I'm the best looking one out there, so.
Well, it is our top 5.
Yes.
So we're going to determine the top 5 competitors from the wrestling world from the month of March.
Okay.
And I'm going to start with my number 5, Josh. And this spans across all wrestling organizations. If you want to pick NXT guys, you can do so as well.
Okay.
But my first is going to come from TNA.
Okay.
It is none other than the new TNA World Heavyweight Champion, Kurt Angle. You got to give Angle credit. He has... he was almost retired practically, just within the last year. Comes back, beats Bobby Lashley, becomes the champion. Kurt Angle made my top 5.
I think number 5 for me is going to be EC3.
I think he's here somewhere. We're at WrestleCon. I think EC3's here somewhere.
But you got to give credit where credit is due to a young guy. He's had his time in WWE. It didn't quite work out with the gimmick there. He's found his niche in TNA because they've given him time to develop his character. This guy made me a believer in a match where he was 150 pounds heavier than a guy like Rockstar Spud in one of the most emotional feuds and matches that I've seen in that company.
Now, I know you have 4 more people to pick, but you do realize that Rockstar Spud is endorsed.
He is endorsed. I understand that. Now he's endorsed by me as well, so that even gives me the check mark, the blue check mark.
He's double endorsed.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. All right, solid number 5, EC3. My number 4 is going to go to yet another endorsed talent, ladies and gentlemen. He is the man who is in the Intercontinental Championship ladder match at WrestleMania tomorrow. He has long been endorsed. He is Stardust.
Okay, Stardust. I do not have him in there, but I want to know why Stardust, because he's kind of thrown in this match and is the 5th or 6th most important guy?
Whoa.
Why? Why did he break the top 5, David?
I think that you're delusional.
How is that?
Because Stardust is always in the top 5 because he is endorsed and he is a future World Heavyweight Champion.
I can't deny the fact that we both love Cody Stardust, but my number 4 coming in is a guy who's proven himself in many variations across the world, and now in NXT. He is a champion, the NXT champion, Kevin Owens. Think about the potential. Think about the potential of a guy like Kevin Owens against. He has signed a 3-year deal. What about him and a Brock Lesnar in 3 years, in 2-3 years? That guy will be ready. His character is a physical, tough-nosed guy that Brock Lesnar's real. Kevin Owens could be just as real as Brock Lesnar in a few years.
That is a bold statement, Joshua.
Thank you.
Well, all right. Well, number 3 for me goes to the man who just this past Monday night on Raw said what needed to be said to make the match that much more important this Sunday at WrestleMania, tomorrow at WrestleMania, Sting. His promo on Monday, for me, finally sold that match, and it didn't feel like it was a throw-together match where they were just using these 2 talents on the marquee event because they had them.
Sting is my number 3 as well, because what Sting has done in WWE has been built perfectly. He didn't talk for the entire time upon his return. You knew why he was there. He did not need to spell it out, and sometimes silence is stronger than words. So Sting is my number 3 as well, because that match gave me just a little more excitement, even though I was already excited as a fan.
All right, well, good choice there. I don't dispute any of your selections yet. Okay. Number 2 for me goes to the man who many of you hate, the man who many of you feel does not deserve to be in the spot he is in tomorrow at WrestleMania, the man who is in the main event and going after Brock Lesnar's WWE World Heavyweight Championship, Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns.
Is he endorsed?
Yeah, he's been long endorsed. That's why he's going to become champion.
Last year he was endorsed?
Absolutely.
He's not going to become champion, but that's another argument for another day. My number 2...
Don't treat me like Lamar.
I wanted to say, but you guys have just the same amount of hair, so it's easy to do that. You look better, though, in that shirt. My number 2, I could go Roman Reigns, but you know what? I'm going to be a little different. I'm going to go to a guy who's been the staple of WWE for the past year, day in and day out, Seth Rollins, Mr. Money in the Bank, a guy that has built a storyline for months with Randy Orton. It was so easy, so logical, and now it comes to fruition. Please let them give 15, 20, 25 minutes of actual in-ring wrestling, because him and Randy Orton could be money.
You know what? That is a solid choice. Seth Rollins, I think, a lot of people don't realize how great he has actually become and how he has ended up in the top echelon of WWE talent right now.
And there's not many guys that go up there. I mean, look at how much he's surpassed Dean Ambrose. And I'm not discrediting Dean Ambrose because I think some of the writing for Dean Ambrose has been very generic. But at the same time, Seth Rollins has taken an opportunity and has skyrocketed to the top of WWE.
Well, it's time for the number one from both of us in our top 5 this month. And number one for me goes to the other man who is on top of the card at WrestleMania. Big announcement earlier this week that he has signed a long-term deal, a 3-year contract with WWE, and chose not to go back to UFC. The Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar.
Number one, without a doubt, is the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar.
Agree.
I'll tell you why. There is no other superstar in WWE that could take up a 7 or 8 minute segment on ESPN SportsCenter and punk out ESPN saying, I'm actually going to go back to WWE. I'm not going to go to UFC. I'm not going to mix martial arts. So all the things that WWE does wrong, this was something that they did right. They built this promotion many, many years ago. But the fact that Brock Lesnar went on ESPN and hyped up this match more than they've done in the past month on television shows me something.
Solid top 5, Josh Eisenberg. Josh, thank you for joining me. It's always great to have you here on the Pro Wrestling Report. I got to get into the CSR studios at some point.
Absolutely do. It's only a short little flight to Pittsburgh.
Will Justin let me?
I will let you.
I think he's scared of me, you know. All right, Josh Eisenberg, Damian Nelson, we're here at WrestleCon. The Pro Wrestling Report Primetime continues right now.
Coming up next on PWR Primetime, David has this month's DHHS and more. Be the booker for tomorrow's WrestleMania pay-per-view.
If you've been hurt in a car wreck, the insurance company may try to stop you from getting what's fair.
After my car wreck, the insurance company just wasn't helping me, so I said stop, and I called Gruber Law Offices.
Be careful. Call us right away.
They better be careful. Now I've got Gruber Law Offices.
Call us. Let us get started on your case right now.
They put the green light on my case and got me $65,000.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Call 276-6666.
Brock Lesnar has re-signed with the WWE, and the fans groan. I don't get it. Lesnar is a bona fide superstar and box office attraction. Why wouldn't the universe want someone of his stature? Brock Lesnar's star appeal had him featured on ESPN for his announcement that he was staying with the WWE. I doubt Daniel Bryan, Dolph Ziggler, Roman Reigns, or even John Cena would have gotten that spot on ESPN. With the WWE lacking megastars, let alone main event stars, this is a great signing. Lesnar sells tickets, and he is believable. And obviously, the WWE values his contributions, or they would not have re-signed him. Say what you want about quarter-time, part-time, or half-time stars. He is full-time box office, and at the end of the day, people will always pay to see King Kong. And with that, David Hero has spoken.
There are only 2 events left in the current PWR Fantasy Draft, and the Nelson family remains in the lead. At last month's Fastlane pay-per-view, the family scored an additional 315 points and sits on top with 4,185 points, while David Hero's Super Friends scored 340 points, now having 3,690 points total. It's still a close race, and a lot is at stake at tomorrow's WrestleMania pay-per-view, where the draft winner will be determined. Follow PWR Draft on Twitter to get live updates during WWE WrestleMania and to follow along with the scoring. Now it's time to take an even closer look at Mania with more Be the Booker, where Damian and David fantasy book and go in depth on the event. Boys, take it away.
Thank you, Linda. And yes, indeed, it is time for the second leg of Be the Booker for WrestleMania tomorrow on pay-per-view.
Jealous?
Am I jealous of my 495-point lead over you? Absolutely I'm not, because I will whoopeth upon your tail in the draft come the end of WrestleMania tomorrow.
I have Paige. I have Sandow. I have Barrett. I have Rollins.
Great.
They're all winning.
Okay, that might get you 200 of the 495 points you need to just simply dig out of your hole.
Here. I still have main events.
And it is time to talk about those main events, ladies and gentlemen. WrestleMania so big we had to do it twice, I guess you could say, here in PWR Primetime on My 24 Milwaukee. Earlier tonight, we talked about some matchups, including the Divas Tag Team matchup, the Bella Twins versus AJ and Paige. We expect, or David Hero would book AJ and Paige to get the win in that matchup. The Andre the Giant Battle Royal, looking for Damian Sandow to come out on top in that matchup. And as you said, 70,000 people chanting for Sandow, likely to be the case in that matchup. The ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship, Stardust walks away with all the gold, according to David Hero, tomorrow night at WrestleMania.
I got Wade Barrett.
Oh, I saw Stardust circled there. How'd that happen?
Hammer to the side of the noggin.
And then Mr. Money in the Bank, Seth Rollins, who's been in this very studio, folks, would defeat Randy Orton if David Hero had his way tomorrow at WrestleMania. Let's talk about the next matchup on the card. It's for the United States Championship. Defending will be Rusev with Lana in his corner, we think, against John Cena. John Cena in yet another non-WWE Championship matchup at WrestleMania.
He doesn't need to be in the championship matches at WrestleMania. John Cena is one of their true megastars. And Rusev is the man right now that has been the thorn in the side for John Cena for the last 2 months. Has there been a better rivalry for Cena lately than Rusev?
Well, this past Monday night may have told an interesting story as it pertains to this matchup. John Cena left laying.
He did. And of course they did that because they want Cena to come the old Spirit of 76. You know, to come limping down to the ring.
Desert?
Yes, however you want to frame it. They want the All-American John Cena to be damaged and battered because it means one of two things. It'll be an amazing comeback for him to beat Rusev, or Cena is too damaged that Rusev beats him at WrestleMania. Now, the obvious deal would be John Cena defeats Rusev at WrestleMania in front of 70,000, huge USA chant.
Feel good moment?
Yeah, but if I'm booking this pay-per-view, I'm having Rusev beat John Cena.
But shut your mouth.
Here's why. You need somebody to eventually have a program with the winner of the main event, Reigns or Lesnar. And I don't think the fans want to see John Cena against Reigns or Lesnar again. I think the fans would be happy to see Rusev against Brock Lesnar or Rusev against Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. Right now, they got a good thing going with Rusev. He's their top heel. He gets legit heel heat. Yes. The only one that gets booed is Lana. And that's why they took her off TV the last 3 weeks.
Well, she's filming a movie with WWE Studios right now.
But still, it's better for business if she's not on TV because now there won't be that initial pop for her. Now it's all booing Lana. I know that sounds funny, but you know what I mean.
Really, Rusev?
Yeah.
Over Cena. Cena loses at WrestleMania.
If I'm booking it, if they say, hey,
you're booking for not just tomorrow night, but for the future.
You have to. WrestleMania creates stars. If Cena loses to Rusev, it's not going to hurt Cena. He can still headline the next 4 pay-per-views after that because he's John Cena. Unfortunately, Cena will probably win. But if I'm given the pencil and it's my decision, I'm picking Rusev.
Next matchup is Triple H versus Sting, ladies and gentlemen. It's Sting's very first WrestleMania, and he goes up against Triple H, the COO of the company. How about Sting's promo this past Monday night on Raw to kick off Raw? I'm not here to defend WCW. That would be ridiculous. Well done, well played, necessary from Sting, and it built this match even further.
Because you don't want it to be a defunct WCW against a billion-dollar company. These two guys are going to fight. There's going to be baseball bats. There's going to be sledgehammers. It's going to be Triple H leading Sting by the hand, though, because I don't know if Sting is ready for a WWE-style match, which is a little bit more fast-paced, a little more hard-hitting than WCW or TNA ever was.
Now, speaking about fast-paced and hard-hitting, I have been meaning to ask you something.
Oh, my goodness. I'm nervous now.
Thursday at PWRshow.com.
Yes.
A little show called the
David Hero Show. It was back.
It was back.
It was fantastic.
And, again, how you did it without my knowledge is suspect.
Bro, I have studio time.
Okay.
I just sign off I got really good at signing your name.
We talk about wrestling here on this program. And your two guests.
Cohorts.
Talked about a lot other than wrestling.
Associates. Yes. It's at PWR.
Where'd you find them? Well, we know where you found Linda.
I find everybody. It's called Twitter. It's an amazing tool.
Anyways, if you haven't seen that, folks, it is a train wreck worth watching. It is the David Hero Show. What aired this past Thursday. It was the Shenanigans edition, apparently.
We previewed Shenanigans.
At PWRshow.com, also available on our YouTube channel. So, back to the matchup. Sorry for that diversion there.
You're really pissy about that, aren't you?
Well, you may have studio time, but I pay for that studio time.
It was well worth it.
Triple H versus Sting. A lot of people saying this should be Sting versus Undertaker.
No. This match has to happen first. Because you can't have Sting come in and lose to Taker at his first WrestleMania. You need Sting to come in and beat Triple H.
To be credible.
And it's no secret. Sting beats Triple H.
Really?
There's no way Triple H beats Sting.
Triple H, the man who buries everybody for his own
Which he hasn't done in the last 5 or 6 WrestleManias.
No, that's Triple H. He married in. He's not worth it. He's not deserving.
He's one of the best there is ever. He's very creative. He's very smart. He's building an amazing brand in NXT, and he knows what's best for business. Triple H, he got Bruno Sammartino in the Hall of Fame. He got the Ultimate Warrior back in WWE. He now got Macho Man in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
He's a student of the game. He knows what he's doing.
He is the game.
But Sting defeats Triple H in a big emotional match, which for me then sets up Undertaker and Bray Wyatt next year.
Undertaker and Bray Wyatt is this year here at Levi's Stadium tomorrow night on pay-per-view. And let's talk about that matchup. The Undertaker, who lost last year to Brock Lesnar. The streak is over, yet Taker, who we have not seen, is going to walk into Levi's Stadium and take on Bray Wyatt, who called him out.
Do you know why we haven't seen Taker? Because if you want to see The Undertaker, you got to pay to see him. He's an attraction. And there's no reason to have Undertaker come to Raw or to SmackDown to get into a promo with Bray Wyatt. Why? Because it doesn't make sense. Because you don't, anything physical that's going to happen has to happen at WrestleMania, not beforehand. I love Undertaker to beat Bray Wyatt.
Doesn't he have to?
He needs to beat Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt, here's why. All Bray Wyatt does is come out and run down The Undertaker every week.
Yeah.
Runs him down.
Yeah.
Never puts him over. Runs him down week after week.
Week after week.
Taker's got to get his heat back. He's going to beat Bray
Undertaker
Wyatt.
defeats Bray Wyatt. At least you would book it as so tomorrow night at WrestleMania.
Would.
Ladies and gentlemen, the main event. The man who won the Royal Rumble, Roman Reigns, attempts to take the WWE World Heavyweight Championship from the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar. Earlier in this program, we talked about Brock Lesnar and his re-signing with WWE. That variable is now out the window. However, recently on this program, we also talked about the double turn, if you will, and the Paul Heyman factor, and how this match could go because of the reaction of the hardcore fans in San Jose to Roman Reigns.
I am going to explain not only to you, but everybody in TV land how to book this match.
Them out there?
Humanoids? So everyone, ham and eggers, how everyone can be happy. There's only one way to do it. You will have a fight between King Kong and Godzilla. Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, back and forth, punch, kick, clotheslines, body slams, Superman punches, spears, F5s. No rest holds. Make it a fight. Make it a battle. Then when Brock Lesnar beats Roman Reigns to retain the World Heavyweight Championship.
I need Reigns to win so I can keep this.
He will then pick up Roman Reigns and shake his hand like, you brought it. That way Brock Lesnar endorses a not fan favorite Roman Reigns as a next main event star. And it's a great story that Roman Reigns almost got to the top of the mountain but came up a little bit short.
And the fans didn't say, oh, shucks.
Exactly.
He can, he should, he could have.
And it's all they need to do is have Brock Lesnar extend his hand out to shake Roman Reigns' hand in respect, and that's all you got to do. That's how you save the main event at WrestleMania.
And in that, Roman Reigns does not lose. He's the biggest winner of the night.
Absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen, WrestleMania 31. It's tomorrow on pay-per-view and on the WWE Network. We will be there live in attendance in San Jose at Levi's Stadium. We'll be live tweeting the event from our suite in the stadium. Let's go over what we talked about just now. Rusev gets the win over John Cena, retaining the United States Championship. Quite shocking there, in my opinion, David Hero. Sting gets the win over Triple H. Undertaker gets the win over Bray Wyatt.
But listen, Lesnar defeats Reigns, sets up Rusev versus Lesnar at SummerSlam in New York City. Brooklyn.
Well, Brooklyn.
How big is that?
Think PrimeTime will come back for that?
No. How big would that be?
Be huge. And WrestleMania tomorrow will be huge, ladies and gentlemen. We're not done yet with Be the Booker, because tomorrow, a very special edition on our YouTube channel and PWRshow.com of Be the Booker. We're going to talk about the pre-show match and our pre-show for WrestleMania 31 from Levi's Stadium in San Jose. What a card, what a night it will be, and what a card, what a night it has been here on PrimeTime. It doesn't stop here, though, ladies and gentlemen.
Can't
There's
stop,
more.
won't stop.
There's more PWR PrimeTime to come.
Direct from the Jerry Springer Show. The Extreme Midget Wrestling Federation is coming to town. The world's smallest wrestlers are competing for the title. This is body slamming action, midget style. These 4'2" little guys fight with pool sticks, chairs, trash cans, and weapons of mass destruction. Come, support midget violence.
Coming to Milwaukee on Friday, April 3rd. Get your tickets now at hapstheater.org.
When you're diamond shopping, variety is important. At Robert Hack Diamonds, we'll show you multiple diamonds side by side underneath the microscope and show you what to look for when buying a diamond. GIA graduate gemologists are on staff for expert diamond grading. Robert Hack has affordable prices on all diamonds, including diamonds certified by the GIA. Need a mounting for your diamond? Our selection is huge. Buy your diamonds today at Robert Hack Diamonds or visit roberthackdiamonds.com.
Diamonds are a girl's best friend.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to what has been a very loaded edition of the Pro Wrestling Report Primetime. David Hero sitting alongside me, Tavia Nelson.
What's so funny? I'm always sitting alongside you. Why is that funny?
Kevin Kelly has sat in that chair.
Yes. They've all kept it warm.
Cal Hero has sat in that chair. Linda Kay has sat in that chair. Mike Wickett has sat in that chair. Meathead has sat in that chair. Frank Cosentino has sat in that chair.
Ever since you put Cal on
Seth
TV,
Rollins has sat in that chair. Austin Aries has sat in that chair. Al Snow has sat in that chair. Scotty Tuhati has sat in that chair.
So it's a throne is what you're saying.
Tommaso Ciampa has sat in that chair.
There has been amazing, brilliant minds in this chair.
And then you.
Well, I'm one of them.
It's the March forecast.
You can't even spell Tommaso Ciampa.
I'm sorry, April forecast. TAMASSA. CHIAMPA.
You know, he lives here in Milwaukee. He's watching this show. I can't wait till he sees you next time.
It's the April forecast. WrestleMania will be beyond us after tomorrow. And what will happen? What should we look for coming out of WrestleMania 31? The biggest question that needs to be answered, and we tried to answer it for you and Be the Booker earlier tonight, was who will be the WWE champion coming out of San Jose, coming out of Levi's Stadium after tomorrow's WrestleMania. That really will drive the direction of the company. John Cena, Rusev, United States Championship. We expect that to be intriguing as well, and really will continue to shape what will happen in April. But the real questions are, what happens now with the Triple H's of the world? What happens now with the Stings of the world? What happens now with the Undertakers of the world? What happens now with the Bray Wyatts of the world?
Storage.
A lot of these people who they have put in place at WrestleMania may not be part of our weekly television programming going forward, David Hero, and will that be a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, Bray Wyatt will be back on TV on Raw. I don't know about Sting. I don't know about Sting. I don't know about Triple H. Taker definitely is not going to be back on Raw. I mean, those three guys are special attractions.
Yeah.
But you're going to go forward with the Rusevs, with the Reigns', with the Cenas,
the Codys,
the Lesnars. All those guys going forward are the ones that are going to be pushing the program. I mean, for people that are gonna think or assume that Sting and Taker are gonna come back,
I still want that match. I understand the challenges that come with it, but I still want that match. It's iconic.
And you will get that match in Dallas next year. Here's why.
Well, Taker makes it.
They have to sell 100,000 seats next year. Mm-hmm. That match will help.
That match will do it. Well, in Dallas.
Yeah, it'll help. There's no question.
Yeah. Well, we will be back with you again, ladies and gentlemen, prior to the next WWE pay-per-view, as we are again monthly here on the My24 and on YouTube and PWRshow.com. In the meantime and in between time, you can follow us on our social media channels. We're at PWR Show on Twitter, Facebook.com/PWR Show, and YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Report. David, what do you have planned for the upcoming month? It's April Fool's Day is coming up, and
it's one of
spring
my favorite
fever.
days of the year. Is April Fool's Day.
It's like your holiday.
It really is.
You think it's named after you, don't you?
No, of course. I thought it was yours.
No, I've got February.
Really? No.
President's Day.
I was going to say, it can't be President's Day.
Yeah. So your April will be about as exciting as the last 4 seconds you gave us. That is all, ladies and gentlemen. We will see you tomorrow, right before WrestleMania, with our WrestleMania pre-show. It'll be the Booker for the pre-show match at WrestleMania 31.
Oh, is that you and Eisenberg, or do I get that back?
Why are you so jealous?
I'm not jealous.
Yes, I would replace you with Josh in a heartbeat.
Really?
Absolutely.
You think he's better than me?
I know he's better than you. You saw that segment earlier.
I had to wear sunglasses.
You can go do the show. You can go take his place. You can do the show with LeBar.
Okay. You want to send me to Pittsburgh?
I would love to send you as far away as possible. Yes.
That's #hurtful.
Well, it's #truthful. For that one, ladies and gentlemen, this is Damian Nelson saying we'll see you tomorrow night for WrestleMania 31. Thanks for tuning in.
It's LeBar?